The members knew that the ultimate transportation of themselves and their captive automobile would likely not be much of a problem. The members could have easily thrust a portal right in front of the vehicle as it drove forward down the road, simply allowing it to unwittingly drive straight through and right onto their compound. The only reason the members hadn't done so is because they wanted a bit more excitement. Scared or not, the car is showing us what its engine can do. Well, so, let's show it what we can do to an engine. Mark responded. What is that? What the fuck is that? Ah. What in hell are you gonna do to me? The Firebird cried, revving as Mark gripped the chain. Once the invisible portal has been activated, it lasts for exactly 1 minute and 1 minute only. This meant that these 4 individuals had just 1 minute or less to transport themselves and their captive prime, or else they would be forced to wait another 12 hours before the device could reset itself. The members couldn't help but be amazed at the amazing success regarding the transportation of their first ever vehicle. I think you know. Or I think you have an idea. I just think you don't want to think about it. Too bad. It's coming out. Tom replied. Stop your damn bouncing. You know. If you want to bounce about, maybe we ought to have a little fun with you, first. Jack added. The automobile continued to scream while being dragged through the invisible portal, with a firm hand cupped over its roof with quite a tight squeeze during the transport. After the vehicle had been hauled onto the members' compound and away from the open roads of its home Earth, that gripping hand had been released from its nicely curved roof. The vehicle appeared to be so horrified that it didn't even want to move. Now, Jack. We all know you like suspensions. You like to bounce cars. You're standing behind it. Go ahead. Kick it. Mark stated. I don't care how I look to you. You can't do this to me. I'm just a car. Please. The Firebird screamed, as Jack raised up his foot a bit. The members stood right in front of their now captured automobile, watching as it softly wept right at their feet with quite a loud and heavy idle. The members knew that the vehicle was terrified and appeared to be a bit wobblesome on its suspension, though hardly any words had been said between the members and its sleek height at this point. The vehicle was no longer on the road, and it surely must have felt violated. Come on. What are you waiting for? Kick the car across its fuel box. Make it rear its rear end high on its springs. Steve encouraged. Yeah. Look at the damn thing. It's bouncing harder. It wants it. You know, car? Why do you insist on showing off? Tom insisted. The massive compound to which this automobile had been dragged featured an area roughly the size of 300 square acres, all fully paved and enclosed within the confines of a 50-foot concrete wall. A variety of intimidating structures dotted the compound in spots, with the vehicle itself having been dragged toward such a structure which had been constructed years ago with one single and terrifying goal in mind. Damn it. I'm not showing off. Damn you. I'm scared. All right. I'm just so damn scared. Ah. Please. The Firebird wailed. So that's why this engine's bouncing all over the bay. 'Cause you're scared. Mark replied, holding tight in hand the dangling chain. The structure to which the automobile had been dragged resembled a hangman's apparatus in shape, featuring a 20-foot vertical post from which extended outwards a 6-foot horizontal bar at its top section. This was a structure made entirely of steel and that would not in any way bend so easily, with the topmost horizontal bar further featuring a stationary steel hook from which a heavy-duty chain dangled. Fine. Consider yourself a lucky car. I'll spare you the box. I don't know about your engine. Tom and Mark are on that. Jack stated. You should have kicked it. That bitch has a full box of fuel. Hell, if you don't. I'm gonna go over there and do it. Steve insisted. Once the automobile had been bound in front of the structure via a specialized wheel clamping system firmly fastened into the ground in front of the vertical post, its front end had the heavy-duty and thick link chain dangling right over it. The vehicle had not known exactly as to what the structure was going to be used for, though it may have had an idea. The vehicle remained stationary with its wheels bound to the ground. Wait. Jack's right. We just filled it this morning. Its box is quite full. And I sort of want the car in good shape for this. Tom replied. Ah. You'll spare my fuel box? But not my engine? Want to punish me? Take the damn chain. And just whip me. The Firebird cried. Though the terrified automobile continued to plead and rev while bound to the ground in front of the structure, the members pretty much left it alone for the remainder of the evening. It wouldn't be until the early morning hours of the following morning when the members had returned, though two of the members had returned once during the late night hours to provide the vehicle with a full box of fuel to keep it alive. Whip you? Is that what you want? Want to know what I think? You want us to spare that engine? That's what I think. Jack insisted. This engine is coming out. It's that simple. It will be a slow and daunting pull. But we are cleaning your front end out. Mark added. The members had known that a large portion of the first day would probably be spent on the hunt and capture of the vehicle, therefore they opted to set aside a second day when much of the most torturesome work would be done. The members wanted a full day of about 8 to 12 hours at their disposal to handle any given vehicle, and it would be a collective discretion whether or not they'd use part of the first day. You son of a bitch. Please. Don't do this. Damn you. Please. The Firebird squealed, still revving as Mark began to thread the chain. It's round. That front end of yours is round. Too damn round. And you are going to regret it. We are going to gut it. Steve insisted. Once the members returned come the early hours of the following day, they simply provided their automobile with a full box of fuel. Existing a good number of feet below the pavement is a large array of massive fuel tanks that have been stolen from a variety of alternate Earths, providing enough fuel for 4 vehicular refills spanning a full year. The members had little to worry about at this time regarding fuel provisions. I have always wanted to pull an engine out of a car. And there is no other car suited for a slow and grueling engine rip. Tom stated. I know. We know. A front end this round. Almost perfectly round. That is something this bitch needs to pay for. Mark responded. Once the members provided their vehicle with its full box of fuel during the early morning hours, they refused to waste much time in getting started. The chain that had been dangling down from the top of the structure over the engine bay featured 4 extensions which had been pulled up and attached to the more straighter section. These 4 extensions were quickly unhooked and laid out across the exposed engine. Ah! You bastards! Pay for what? I never did a thing to you. The Firebird screamed, as Steve decided to reach below the engine bay. Stop your whining, car. You're sounding like a broken record already. Steve said, latching all the chains tightly beneath the engine. Such was the case with the members' very first captured automobile, a truly sleek Pontiac Firebird who had its engine sitting on an assembly of 4 chains all latched together beneath the engine. A ratchet on the structure's vertical post would be the primary device used to pull the engine up in a very slow manner as the day progressed, with each lever thrust activating a pulley atop the structure that yanked up the chain. That's it. You go right ahead. You ride that engine. We'll see how hard you rev it. Once it begins to tear out of the bay. Jack stated. Every half hour. It gets pulled up a link. If we have to. We'll make it every 10 minutes late in the day. If we have to. Tom added.